My name's Hayden Crabtree. I'm a commercial real estate investor and author of Skip the Flip, The Secrets the 1% Know About Real Estate Investing. And today I briefly want to teach you what is cash on cash. You get a lot of questions from new investors asking, how do I know if this is a good investment? Or what about this property versus this property? One of the basic and most fundamental ways to measure how good an investment property is what is the cash on cash. In other words, for how much money I put down on the property, how much am I going to receive annually back in terms of cash flow? Whatever's left over at the end of the day from the rental income that goes into my pocket is what we want to call profit. That amount divided by how much money did I put in to buy this property. What's the ratio there? And that's called cash on cash. So let's briefly define it. First thing we want to look at, let's just say we have a house here, and let's say we buy this house for $100,000, and let's say we buy it for all cash, okay? So what we want to look at is cash on cash equals annual cash flow. So how much cash flow we make in a year divided by how much did the property cost me. Okay, so cash on cash is annual cash flow divided by how much did the property cost me. So let's look at this example. Let's say we bought a house for $100,000, and let's say that house, let's say it has income of $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year, and it has expenses of $4,000 a year. Okay, that's going to come out to cash flow of $8,000. So let's plug these numbers into our formula. We bought it for $100,000, so cash on cash equals $100,000. And each year we're going to get $8,000 of cash flow out of this. So annual cash flow is $8,000. So our cash on cash is simply going to be $8,000 divided by $100,000, or 8%. Okay? So this is one example. And obviously our cash flow could differ from year 1 to year 2 to year 3, and our year 2 cash flow may be different than our year 1 cash flow. Okay, so we need to understand that cash flow is a dynamic number that's going to change year to year depending on how much income you receive, expenses you incur, things of that nature. Okay, so another thing we need to look at, we could have the same house, but depending on how we structure the deal, we could have totally different cash on cash numbers. So that's where we have the asset in and of itself, and then you also have how we're going to structure this deal. Okay, so let's look at the same exact property, but let's say instead of buying it with all cash, let's say we use a mortgage, and let's say that we get a 80% LTV, loan to value. So we're going to put in now, instead of $100,000, we're going to invest $20,000 worth of cash. Okay, does that make sense? And the bank is going to give us $80,000. Okay, now let's just say generically that let's say the mortgage on this, and I haven't done the numbers, but let's just say the mortgage on this property is going to be $5,000 a year. Okay, so now our cash flow before we had debt was $8,000, but now we're going to pay $5,000 back to the bank, and now our new cash flow with leverage is going to be $3,000 a year. Okay, so same exact property, but we're structuring it a little bit differently. So now our cash on cash number equals how much did we put into the property. Okay, so how much did the property cost, or how much did we put into it? In this instance, we only put $20,000 in instead of $100,000. So now we have $20,000 on the denominator, and on the numerator we're going to have $3,000. Okay, so 3 divided by 20,000 is going to equal our new cash on cash. If I'm doing my math right, that should be a 15% cash on cash. Okay, so this is how leverage works. Originally, this investment was only making an 8% cash on cash, but because we borrowed a bank's money at a lower rate, we actually leveraged up our cash on cash, and now for every dollar we spend, we're going to get $15 back a year rather than just the 8 we were before. So this is a brief overview of how cash on cash works. If you guys have any questions about this, please drop a comment below. I'll answer. In the meantime, please subscribe to this channel. I've been putting out more stuff like this every single week to help you out. And also, if you want a free copy of my book, there's a link below, and I'd love to help you guys in any way I can. So subscribe to the channel, watch my other videos, engage, like this, share this with a friend, and I'm happy to help you guys out in any way I can. So thanks. Have a great day. See you soon.